Will you look back when you're old and gray and think those dumb kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you'd remember? I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away.
It's Thursday night, and you know what that means.
What does that mean?
You tell me.
We're back to Thematically Speaking, and I'm taking a different route this week. We're doing Scare Seekers Undertow, because it is the second Thursday of the month, isn't it? I hope I've got that right now. That. So we're welcoming back James from Scare Seekers. How you doing, James?
Hi. Yeah, not too bad.
And we're going to be talking about 2 episodes of The Haunting Hour, which is it's rlstine. It's by rlstine, the stories, but it's sort of aimed at older kids, and it's a bit darker, the tones that they take in it. But we're going to start with Flight. I've got some clips, and what I want to do first, just while people are joining the video and stuff, I'm going to play. I just want to talk about the intro for the show. What did you think? Because I always think it's a really good intro, just the intro video.
Yeah, just kind of like
when you first saw it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like very atmospheric and stuff, and like definitely has sets like kind of like a dark tone already with like the colors and stuff. So
that's my favorite bit, when the shadow knocks the hoodie off the.
Yeah, that's cool.
I just thought that was really cool. We had to include it. So the first episode we're going to look at, it's quite a weird one for me to pick. Really, was obviously it takes place on a plane. It's called Flight, not The Flight, and first episode of Fallout. Is that a show? So it's called Flight. And it takes place on a plane, and I'm going to show some clips throughout when we talk anyway. But there's a kid called Josh, yeah, kid called Josh, and it's from what I believe, he's afraid of flight. It's his first flight, isn't it, James?
Yeah. I think he says that at the start, and he's like an unaccompanied child as well, so that adds to it as well.
And he's flying on this plane on his own. And he gets seated next to this guy, and I think this guy is really cool. Like how he comes across in the episode, and the way he says stuff, I think he's really cool. But I'll play a brief clip with sound just when we get introduced to them.
Hi, I'm Josh.
Headed out on business, Josh. I'm headed to a pretty important meeting myself.
You supposed to do that?
Nothing to worry about, kid.
So, Joneses have seen it as well. Proper freak episode.
Proper freak, yes.
So he's on this plane, and I don't know if I want to mention. Have I missed anything out before I mention what's being put on the plane? That's like I want to mention, but I don't want to miss anything out.
I don't think there's anything. I mean, there's like an old woman who comes onto the plane as well that they kind of focus on, who's kind of very creepy and sinister.
Yeah, I've got a clip of her.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't remember if that happens after that. What I'm going to... That's it, Justin Bieber. Good guess. She is actually in an episode of William Shatner's Twist in the Tail, but that's a much older program. Hello, Cherie. We're talking about The Haunting Hour. I didn't put... anyone wants to do some catch-up, I'll make sure the link's in the description. But these are all... Haunting Hour's got their own channel on YouTube. You can watch all the episodes. But I'll play the intro of something happens next that kind of is going to lead to other stuff happening later on. But I'll play the clip that the characters can explain it.
Hi there.
What's up with the hand, kid?
It's nothing.
Something wrong with it?
No. It's just something my dad taught me. Never get nervous or worried about anything. You should just focus.
Hey, so what do you think this means? Hey, you see them load that coffin into the cargo hold? There you are, living a dream one day, the next, your luggage.
Yeah, at least they get to stretch out.
Did you hear that?
Oh,
There's a corpse on board, right below our feet. It's creepy, but it's kind of cool.
it's not cool. It's disrespectful is what it is. Crew should have loaded the body privately. Keep Give her soul some dignity. Show some respect.
So I put the joke in there because I thought that joke was really. I wanted to get a bit across of what this. As far as I'm aware, we never get his name.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm surprised Josh had a name, to be honest. Like,
but I do like the guy's attitude towards most stuff, and he's joking. And I think I don't know the actor's name or fan, but I thought if you're going to watch this, he's probably my favorite part of the episode. Just him, I think he's really good in it. I don't know if you agree, James.
Yeah. I mean, I think kind of like the old woman as well, kind of like her acting and stuff makes it quite creepy as well, and just almost like I think some of the camera shots that they do with the old woman makes her look quite creepy and sinister as well. So that was pretty cool.
So then we've got this old woman, which I have kind of shown, but I can show again. That kind of comes on, and she's really creepy. She kind of doesn't look creepy to begin with, but then yeah, and she's Irish. I've not got sound on this clip, but she is Irish, which is I don't know, take it or leave it if you think that's creepy. But she ends up being entangled in the story. Like, I don't know if there's anything you want to say. I'm taking all the.
No, it's fine. I just laugh because it's like, yeah, oh yeah.
And then later on, we have a sequence where it happens in a dream, and then he wakes up, and the same thing happens in real life. But basically, he's looking at the woman, and she turns into the Reaper.
Which any theme park enthusiast would go, great.
Yeah.
But I won't talk about the ending till we get to the ending. But at this point, had you any idea? Were you close to what the ending was actually going to be?
Oh no, I was nowhere near. I thought that with her obviously being the Grim Reaper, I thought it was going to be like the whole plane was going to crash by the end of it, and this is all just like foreshadowing to that. So yeah, I was completely off the mark with it.
Yeah, they're all on YouTube. I can send you a link after the show, Gareth. But I believe they were shown on ITV in like the early 2010s. I think it was a bit more recent than Goosebumps, but it's still rlstine. But yeah, they are all on YouTube. But I don't know if I want to play it because I know people. It might ruin it. I'm going to play. Where is it? I've got the clip. This was the clip the first time we watched it because I've watched this before. And when this clip happened, I straight away went, "Oh, is it this?" And at the end, it was. And I wasn't disappointed, but I was kind of more like, "Oh, I guess." Because usually, if I know there's going to be a twist, I tried not to think about it because I want to be surprised. And when this happened, I was just like, "Hang on."
I went for one, and you went for the other, and it was like you were more correct than me.
Hello, Rachel. Talking about the haunting hour.
Hi, Rachel.
But I'll play the clip, and then people might flood the comments and go, "Yeah, that I know what's going to happen if they've not seen it before."
Excuse me, Miss?
Okay. Would you like a
Miss?
favor, sir?
Excuse me.
I'll be right back.
You had to take the puddle jumper with no first class.
So that'll become relevant later on why I played that. But so the man sees that she's the Grim Reaper as well because he doesn't believe Josh at first, does he?
No.
He's like, you're fretting about stuff, you're worrying. Stop going on about it.
Well,
happy wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
So Josh can see the Reaper, and then the man doesn't believe him. Then the man can see the Reaper, and then Josh decides. I can't remember what the reason was actually, because he decides to go to the back of the plane, doesn't he, and walk past her.
Yeah, I think it's because like the guy tells him like to go and stretch his legs, and then he goes to the back of the plane, past the creepy woman.
And then this one's got sound as well, but I thought this was quite fun. This was what happens when they're at the back of the plane.
She started staring at me as soon as you walked by. Really staring. You satisfied? Now you got me thinking that sweet old lady's some kind of soul-collecting ghoul on a killing spree. Knitting. Of course. Seems innocent enough. Oh, no. Not possible.
I like the way it speeds up when she's the Reaper as well.
Yeah.
But it's that bit that I thought as you like quantum leaped or something into that part because you saw the child walking in there, but not the guy. He just appeared.
I mean, the episode is like 20 minutes long, but when you kind of bare bones it down a bit, a lot of it is him joking about with the guy, and then all of the stuff seems to happen in like the last 5 or 6 minutes. I feel like it just starts with the plane, and he's scared of the plane, and then the coffin. They see a coffin go on the plane from outside, and they know the coffin's on the plane. They know that the Reaper's there, and now it's like, oh, is the Reaper gonna?
That bit made me jump though. Did it make you jump, James, when he was like in the bit there just then with the?
Yeah. I think a little bit. I didn't like kind of twig till he got back to his seat that he was kind of like teleporting in a way. I think it was like on a second rewatch, like I noticed a lot of kind of like different stuff that was building up to the reveal at the end.
Travel with the Jones. I agree on that one because that's what I thought. But
Well, we haven't talked about it much yet, but I'm going to. I'll play the like when you finds out the twist.
I'm the adult here. I say we go back to our seats, lay low, stay out of her way. Go on.
Come on. Don't leave me up here alone with the Reaper.
There you are.
How... You would just... No. It's you.
You need to take your seat.
But... My seat's uncomfortable.
Really? You have 2 whole seats to yourself.
One thing I did notice, I don't know if it's related to this at all, but in the episode, once I knew what the twist was, when I watched it back, I wondered, because you see him wearing a seatbelt, is the seatbelt even there, or is it there? And if someone looks, they can see that the seatbelt's up with nothing underneath it.
Or maybe like the seatbelt's part of the ghost in some way.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just like constantly has a seatbelt on him, no matter whether he's on the plane or not.
Or is it all just a dream or a nightmare as well in the comments?
So, how did you feel when you found out that he was the dead body in the coffin on the plane?
I mean, I thought it was like a pretty interesting reveal, like, and kind of built it up over the episode as well. And as I say, it kind of went against what I was thinking originally, which is I thought that the plane was just going to crash and all of them were going to die. And this is almost kind of like a trip to their afterlife in a way, but instead it was just focused more on him, which definitely made a lot more sense.
It's quite a heavy episode because after he finds out the twist, that's not the end of the episode, and then he finds out he remembers how he died, which I think I'll play in a minute, and then he kind of is imparting knowledge onto this kid about he didn't live his life enough because he's a really successtional businessman, but he didn't have family or anything, and it's like really emotional, but not in a scary way. It's really weird. I don't know what you thought of. I was quite surprised it went in that direction because when you watch other episodes, it's the majority of these. Spoiler alert for anyone at home: the majority of the Haunting Hour episodes, unlike Goosebumps, are aimed at younger kids. The Goosebumps episodes normally end in a funny twist, whereas on these, it normally ends in a twist that's like, this character was never found again, or this character did this. Like, it's normally a twist that's something bad, and that's it. But this seems like happy compared to all the rest.
Yeah, I thought it was just like one big massive like therapy session or something. I mean,
yeah, the series is on. It's on YouTube. There's a Haunting Hour. The logo for Haunting Hour is in the middle of the screen now. If you look at the channel that's got that sort of logo, that'll have all the episodes on it at decent quality. It's on YouTube. I will link it after I'm done here today, but I didn't manage to put it. It's called The Haunting Hour, yeah.
Stines.
I think the channel's just called The Haunting Hour, but there's a lot of episodes as well. They're only like 20 minutes each. But what did you think about the ending of this episode?
I genuinely thought it was a bit like I see dead people as well. I genuinely thought it was like that, and then I thought, wait a minute, what if the child's the ghost?
Oh, that would have been cool.
And then
double
just
twist.
I just flipped it because I thought, what if the child's the ghost? And then the only person that was noticing that child was the Reaper, the air hostess, and that man. So I was like, wouldn't it be really weird? Because nobody else was just like, nobody was looking.
She didn't notice the man.
Nobody was paying attention the rest of the plane.
She didn't notice the man. That's when I twigged the first time I watched it. I was like, oh, he's going to be dead, isn't he? I didn't realise he was the person in the coffin that they were talking about. But when the flight attendant was ignoring him, but I felt like, I don't know if you feel the same now you've watched it. You've probably watched it more than once. I don't know, James. But I feel like watching it a second time, I don't know if I felt this way the first time, actually. I felt like you could guess the twist when he couldn't get the flight attendant's attention. And I suppose it's because it's aimed at kids. I felt like they wanted to put something in place so everyone who hadn't guessed the twist yet could guess it before the twist was revealed and go, oh, yeah, I guessed that. Because the bit where he's teleporting is like them going, right, let's put something in so they can guess it before it happens. I don't know if you felt that way.
Yes, because there was also another point where like the boy tries to give the handshake right at the start, and then he doesn't accept the
Yeah, he
handshake.
won't
And
shake
so,
his hand.
yeah, and so like on a second watch, there were like loads of little moments like that where you could see that little bit of foreshadowing. But yeah, I didn't notice most of them on the first one. So yeah.
Yeah, Gareth, it's because the haunting hour is a scary time of the day. It's nothing to do with it being. If you watch 3 of them, it will last you an hour. You'll be fine.
Mm.
But I've got a clip here, I believe. I don't know if this is the bit where he tells us about how he died, or it's just.
I can't now.
No, that's just a bit of scary stuff. But he does tell us about he died in a car crash, and it was quite. I probably should have put a warning there because I don't know if that was graphic or not. There was no blood, but he looked like a dead person.
He was going through exactly what happened with him at that point,
crash.
and there's lights flickering around.
Red lights,
and
like
sounds to do with the scene of where he passed and things, and I thought that was quite good actually. But then obviously it was before that he was reminiscing about his life and going, this is what I could have done and should have done, and I should have kept in touch with friends, I shouldn't have just focused on work and all this sort. And it's quite
touching.
Yeah, that's
because what happens next is I don't know if James wants to carry on, or do you want me to explain what happens? Or...
No, you can keep going.
Because when what happens next, that's not it. Then you find out the Reaper's there to take him, but the Reaper can't take him unless he wants to go. But then I don't know if it's the interference of him being angry and scared that he realizes he's dead, or the Reaper's there. But then the plane starts malfunctioning, and the kid realizes, it's Ollie. Go somewhere. Go check out the haunting out at some point. But there's a bit where the kid says you can make something of your life by saving all these people, because if you don't, they're all going to die as well. And then he makes the decision to go, and then it's like a big crescendo. It's really odd. Like I say, it's not a scary ending, even though you saw sort of graphic hit there because he looked dead. But it was so weird. I just thought it was so weird how that was.
But can you imagine as like a kid watching, like, well, not a kid, like a teen watching it, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's the music goes with it.
I think if I was a teenager watching this, who it's aimed at, really, I'd watch it. I wouldn't be bored, but I'd be thinking this isn't what I signed up for until like right near the end when you get the scary stuff, and then right at the end after that, at the very end. I don't know what do you think about the whole bit where he has to decide if he's going to do something good, if he's going to go with the Reaper.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird because, like, at the end where they kind of show like the afterlife, it doesn't really look very scary or anything. So it kind of makes you wonder why he was kind of so scared of moving on to begin with. Because I'm assuming that if he already knows he's dead, then there's not really much else he can do about it anyway. So it's either he passes on to the afterlife or he takes the plane down with him, and then everyone has to pass on. So there's not really any way of him getting out of it anyway. So I would have understood it was like a scary looking afterlife that he didn't want to go to, but it just seems a bit weird that it looks really nice and peaceful, and then at the end the Reaper, like the old lady, actually looks quite nice and friendly. So it's like it was a bit of it kind of like takes a lot of the scariness out of it in a way with with that ending.
I just want to say,
like a guy that like wouldn't let go, wasn't it? Wouldn't let go of the change that happened, and all of a sudden he just accepted it, and everyone was fine.
Because
that sounds really
I've just realised. I don't know if
wait a minute.
I don't know if he wants to go back to it, but I was going to say Ollie actually works as a flight attendant, so it'd be quite eye-opening to him. Well, not eye-opening, but it'd be quite funny.
If ever seen it, big question is: if you were to create a horror movie themed roller coaster, what film would you choose?
It's hard about elements, isn't it? I don't know. You know more horror films than me, James.
Do I? There's so many things I haven't watched that you guys have. I don't know. The nuclear war film Threads. There you go. It can just be like a coaster about going through a nuclear war. Great.
A good choice.
Please, oh please do, even if it's a dark ride roller coaster of Evil Dead.
Oh yeah.
Because I can imagine in a dark room and you hear like the scattering noises of the hand that he chopped off and things like that. So, and you hear the chainsaw going off, and yeah, I've got big ideas for that. But hey, I am a huge fan
scary
of Evil
movie.
Dead.
Yeah,
I am a huge fan of Evil Dead. So I love Bruce Campbell, even though it was like a funny movie. But
So when he gets off
Yeah.
the plane, I've probably missed out some exposition about at the start. He didn't want to go and visit his dad, which is where he was flying, and then the ghost kind of before he knows he's a ghost, talks him into wanting to see his dad. But at the end, they get off the plane, and there's a little sting in the tail at the end. He talks to the Reaper, and he says, Josh, the kid, says, "Oh, I know why I could see him, because I had to make him realize he was dead and want to go and everything." And she says, "Yeah, you're right." And then he says this.
Well, I figured. Later.
Without a doubt.
Which is sort of obvious that she would see him again if she's the Reaper, but I thought that was still quite creepy for a kid's show. It's like, without a doubt, I'm going to see you again. But I don't know if she was implying she's going to see him soon. That probably would have been better if she said, "I'll see you soon."
Yeah, it's because I only just got that when you just said it right now. I was very confused at that ending when watching, and especially as well because on YouTube, instead of cutting to credits, it kind of cut to an end screen in a way. It made it even more abrupt. Yeah.
Did you hear it properly the first time? Because I've noticed in the comments for the video, or comments I've seen somewhere, where people were saying they thought she'd said something else, and that's why they didn't get it. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think I had to kind of rewind it a little bit, but even then at the time, I just didn't twig what she was actually talking about. But yeah, now you mentioned it, it makes much more sense for that.
How many pumpkins would that get out of 10 for all round? Not necessarily just scary, but like a rounded episode. What would you give that?
I'd probably give it maybe like a 6. I mean, I think for scariness it might be a bit lower, but I think just overall, I think as you kind of said, it kind of goes less kind of scary, more kind of very thought-provoking in a way, and kind of morbid slightly. So it kind of goes into that bit of horror.
What's the twist? Did you prefer the twist more than when we watched Camp Nightmare of Goosebumps?
Yeah, definitely. That ending is just weird.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, go back and watch the live we did. But it's
yeah,
he's basically at camp and all this weird stuff happens and kids go missing. They realize he's on a military operation because he has to go somewhere with his parents, and they look up at the sky and there's Earth, so they're not even on Earth the whole time.
And the scariest thing about that one's my internet connection in that episode, which was terrible. Fortunately, it's better now. So,
shall we talk? Shall we? Is there anything else you want to say about this episode before we talk about the next one?
I think the only other thing I could think of is that when they kind of showed the Grim Reaper, I wish that was kind of a little bit more, like I guess, kind of a little bit more subtle in a way, because I feel like the costume that they had for the Grim Reaper kind of undermined the creepiness of the old lady in a way. Like I feel like she was kind of creepy enough on her own without having to have like the big proper
being
hood
shown
and
up.
everything. Yeah, no way. So.
Do you know what gets me though when she says "without a doubt" at the end? For me, it had two theories, because I know, like, in terms of like paranormal activity and things like that, it's always a child that seems to like sense spirits and things like that, and spirit guides a lot more than adults. And it's just interesting. Maybe it could be that he's like connected with spirit guides and spirits, or it could be that he might come down with something and then he falls ill. And
my impression was it might be soon.
Go two ways. It's like, oh, you've left that quite open there of what could happen next.
My impression was that it was going to happen soon.
But yeah. It makes you think, though, doesn't it?
What would you give that out of 10 before we move on to the next one?
Say 7.
7. I'd probably give it.
I
don't know, because it was emotional, but it was also because I wasn't expecting that. I'd rate it higher up there. It'd probably be in the top quarter. I mean, there's a lot of episodes. There's like 100 odd episodes, but it'd probably be in the top 20%. Probably would be an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I think. I don't know if I'm rating that too high now. I'm being too kind to it.
What would you rate, James?
He said 6.
Yeah, kind of like a 6. I'm just harsh.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we can go back. If anyone wants to ask questions about this or anything else in the live chat, you can feel free to. But we're going to talk about Catching Cold, which is about...
And not at you.
Yeah. It's about a kid called Marty, who's played by... I can't remember the actor's name, but what was his name in... He's in Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah, I think it was Rowley that he plays in that.
He's got the best friend, isn't he?
Yeah.
But this is the opening clip, because he's a bit of like a lazy kid. His mum has a go at him and stuff. And The thing I didn't understand about this episode, even when I watched it again, was because at the start of the episode he hears an ice cream truck and he hears the music and he's like, I've got to get out there and get the ice cream. And I sort of felt like he shouldn't be like this yet because he's not experienced it yet.
I think all the family are quite active though and healthy. Apart from him.
Like his dad's a policeman and his mum's doing the healthy stuff, but he hears this ice cream truck and he can't catch it and it doesn't stop. And then he's obsessed with it because he does try the ice cream later on in the episode, and then you understand why he would be obsessed with it. But I didn't understand. I don't know if you were the same, James. I kind of at the start of the episode I felt like there wasn't a reason for him to be obsessed with it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of like that how he was like so over the top, like in so many of the scenes, and the fact that there wasn't really like any redeeming features about him whatsoever. Like unlike where it's like just like an ordinary kid, this is just like a kid where it's like basically everything he kind of brings on himself, which means you don't really necessarily have to feel sorry for him in any of it. Which I quite liked.
Is Sweet Tooth?
I don't know who Sweet Tooth is.
In Ice Cream Van. Oh, as in Sweet Tooth, the Netflix series. Is that what you mean?
I don't know.
That's the child that's.
I know what he means, but
yeah,
I don't know what he's saying.
I think that's what I think it is. I'll double check.
Because I've not got the clip here, but I don't know if it's after he's tried the ice cream, which I've got some clips going up. But there's a funny clip I remember just offhand now where his best friend, no one else has seen the ice cream van, by the way, as well. Like he can see it and he's chasing it, he won't stop. No one else sees it or hears it. And then his friend asks him to catch a football and he throws it and always hits him. And he just stands there completely in a daze. And I don't know why, I just found that funny. I should have got the clip for that. But he finds out from, I'm going to play the clip, but a mailman overhears him. And then he hears a story about another kid who saw the ice cream truck and talked about it, even though no one else has ever seen it.
I wish I had some of that right now.
Did you say creamy cold? Creamy cold ice cream?
You know Creamy Cold?
Haven't heard that name since I was a kid. There was this boy, Jimmy Jeffries. Yeah, little Jimmy Jeffries. He used to talk about a creamy cold truck. You know, I wonder whatever happened to that Jimmy Jeffries. One day he was there, babbling on about creamy cold, and the next day, he was gone.
Jimmy Jeffries.
So there's this kid who's when that mailman was a kid, I assume, talked about the truck and had seen it. Again, no one else can see the truck, and he really wants the ice cream from it, to a point where doesn't he sell his bike to his friend?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the other thing. He still wants to pay for the ice cream. Twisted Metal. Oh, he means Sweet Tooth.
Oh, no, yeah. I know what you mean. No.
So he wants to get the ice cream from this. Again, it seems like that he should have tried the ice cream first. That scene should have happened first. I'll play the scene where he tries the ice cream, but because leading up to this scene, I maybe should have got the footage for this, but it gives everyone else a reason to watch it. But yeah, this happens, and then
he just devours it.
But leading up to this is a really cool scene where there's a tap dripping, and because the ice cream van is constantly playing "Pop Goes the Weasel," and then he hears a tap at night, and it's doing it to that tune, so he turns it off. And then the alarm clock really loudly starts playing it, and he can't get it to turn off till he unplugs the thing.
That does some proper like pixelated.
Yes, weird
sort of
tone
like
as well.
8-bit music, 8-bit music, 68-bit music,
8-bit music,
yeah. But yeah, that's some proper like. I actually want that as an alarm clock myself.
And then there's another bit, but I didn't want to get videos of him licking the ice cream in case it looked wrong or suggestive. But there's a bit where I think after he tries it, he draws a massive ice cream on a piece of paper and licks the piece of paper. And then he sells his bike to his friend. And then his friend buys him a load of ice cream because he feels sorry for him, but it's like it doesn't taste anywhere near as good as Creamy Cold. So he's like, It's a bit like an analogy for drug addiction. I don't know if you saw that, James. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that kind of made it funny as well because it's like, you know, having like this kid being so over the top, but also it kind of like mirroring that kind of like drug addiction thing as well, just kind of made it like kind of funnily twisted in a way, which is really funny. But I think it's also just that actor is very good at kind of, like, I think he's one of like the very few very good child actors as well, I feel like. So yeah, he really made it more interesting and engaging in a way.
What parts did you think he was really good at acting? Because I noticed there was some things in there that I thought he was quite good at.
Yeah, I just think like any of the over the top points with the ice cream and just the fact that he was just
Like the
chasing
facial
to the ice.
expressions.
Yeah, it was good with them as well. Yeah.
It's the one where I think it's where he's sat on the bed and he's just going on about the creamy cold, and the fact that he just describes it, and it definitely sounds like a detailed addiction sort of thing. So, but yeah.
Oh,
hi, everyone.
Venture Collects here. How you doing, Luke?
Oh, hello. Yeah, it's Luke. Hi.
Hey, Luke. Thanks for joining.
If anyone wants to search this episode, it's on the Haunting Hour YouTube channel. If you watch it on repeat, I'll put the link in the description. But I never noticed the mirror was there. Andy's saying,
it's not the bit that I noticed. No.
We might have to rewatch that because even I didn't notice that.
No, I think we were staring at the taps for too long because it was just the taps were making the tune, and then I wondered. It was kind of creepy because I started to think about no one else can hear or see this, like any of it. I just thought that was really creepy. Then, Travel Hub, welcome in. And then I don't know if you've got any more notes about what we've talked about so far before I go on with the. Don't watch the first Hellfire Fairground DeLorean if you don't like planes, because there's some first one's about planes.
Oh, bless you, Luke.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's nice. The only other thing that I could kind of think of was that Jimmy Jeffries, kind of like the friend, like the older guy they meet. Straight away, I thought he was going to be the villain of it. Like I kind of thought that he was trying to entice Marty to want the ice cream. Man. Yeah. I thought from what he was describing, I thought he was trying to like entice Marty more to want the ice cream even more, and then he was actually going to be the villain in the end. But it turns out completely wrong about that.
Do you want to say anything else before I continue with what happens in the episode?
No, I thought he was a really decent actor, but I also thought when he hid behind the bushes to look for the ice cream man late one night, I did notice, it sounds ridiculous, but I did notice he's got like a little bit of a dot there on his nose, like nose piercing, so he must have taken it out. Yeah.
I don't
know, maybe it was just me, but that's just one of those weird details that I pick up on.
There's a lot of stuff where like his friend would go, let's go to the mall, and they'd be like, no, I've got to stay here. I can't leave the street, and you might come back. I don't want to miss it. But Andy's saying he lives on a main road, so it doesn't stop. Remember during like COVID? Well, it was just after like the second part of COVID, I think, and there were people out in the street, and I guess because he didn't get many customers, they kind of flagged him down. It was literally outside our door.
Yeah. We have one that does like the good, the bad, the ugly, or sometimes we've had one that does Batman. That Batman one. We had ice cream for another week, and they cleaned the machine right before it was.
At least they clean the machine. Normally they say the machine's not working because they don't want to have to clean it. But for anyone who's just joined, the kid who plays, is it Rowley in
Rowley
in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, plays the main character in this episode of The Haunting Hour. They've dial up Man and Wrexham for ice cream. How much does he charge if he's having to dial him up? And I don't want to know really. But he's chasing this ice cream van that only he can see, and then he's starting to hear Hop Goes the Weasel, and then maybe I'll play this again for anyone who just came in and missed it. Then it shows up at his house, but his dad can't see it out the front door because his dad calls to him at one point, and his dad can't see it. But the ice cream van's outside his front door. And it's just there playing the music still. He has the ice cream, and it's like the best ice cream he's had. It's the creamiest ice cream. It doesn't look that good, does it?
Could have had a better cone.
Mr. T ice cream, yes.
Mr. Ice Creams. So only he can see it, and he's trying to stop it. And he comes up with a plan because his dad's when he gets a bike of his dad that's not brand new, and then no, not Aramark. Aramark would ruin it, Luke. Actually, the one you had probably was Aramark, wasn't it?
Yeah, he said he went to the van the next day and got free ice cream. Got free ice cream the next time he went a week later. Sorry.
That's cool. So his dad gives him the bike, and that's when he sees in the boot that he's got spike strips. And this is where it kind of becomes like if someone, I'm guessing, I mean, I'm lucky that I don't think I have any friends that are in a situation where they're addicted to drugs, but I'm guessing there'd be a point where you kind of see them do something really out there because their addiction, and you go, whoa, that's steady on. And this was the bit for me in this episode.
Something extreme
because
to get to where they need to go.
He steals the spike strips out of his dad's police car because he's going to stop this ice cream van. He still wants to pay for the ice cream. And then later on, he still tries to pay for the ice cream. But he's going to use these spike strips to stop the ice cream van. Ice cream van that only he can see, and he can not stop hearing it. And it's worth watching the episode just to hear the scene we talked about with the tap dripping, and it's playing Pop Goes the Weasel, and there's an alarm clock going off as well. I didn't think it was going to turn off.
This is the only criticism I got. Surely they would have heard him clanking those spikes all the way like down through the hallway, through the front door. And to realise, like, oh, this seems a bit weird.
So this is where he stops it, I think. Tries to plug it down, it's not stopping.
Yeah, I think it like kind of like reverses back and then...
Yeah. No, he does the same thing you did at the start, which was he missed the ice cream van. He runs through to his back garden, and considering he doesn't do any activity, he jumps the fence to get to the next road where the ice cream van comes back round.
I feel like that would have been slower than just running, trying to climb over a fence.
Great minds think alike here with some people in the chat about Sweet Tooth van.
Sweet Tooth, yeah. I don't know. I didn't get any. Have I got any pictures of the van in the daytime?
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I won't overthink horror logic, but you know what I mean. It's just one of those things that I'm like, rubber spikes.
But I don't know if we want to, because we've got through this quite quick today. Is there anything you want to say about the episode? Because I can play the ending of the episode.
To be honest, the guy, sorry, Jeffrey.
What's he called? Jimmy Jeffries.
Jimmy Jeffries.
Yeah, I want to say Jeffrey Jimmy for some weird reason. The other way around.
Luke, do you remember the Iron Brew and the Wham bars? Did you used to get those on the ice cream van? Did they sell those? It's turned into something else now.
No, it's fine. It just completely made me lose train of thought.
You're talking about Jimmy Jeffries, the ultimate celebrity.
Whoever, yeah, Jimmy Jeffries. Obviously, we will be able to see him, but I genuinely thought he was like a wrestler or something because he reminded me of a wrestler. And I just looked and went, "Is that no?" I'm thinking, how long ago was this actually filmed? So how long was it actually filmed, Mike? What year did it come out? Like The Haunting in general? It was like usually 90s or early 2000s or...
What, The Haunting Hour?
Yeah.
Came out like 2010s, I believe.
Yeah,
it was after Goosebumps.
This is what I was asking because obviously when I said who this person looked like, I was like, it actually looks like one of the wrestlers.
That's why Andy was trying to stop the van.
So yeah, that has to help with Dr. Blue movies.
Someone else told me about Fallout. I don't know what it is. It's on Prime, apparently.
There's a series of Fallout.
Yeah. I think it's like a series of the Fallout game.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big. I like post-apocalyptic stuff, but I wasn't a big fan of especially the later games. But
we do have a massive poster though, Fallout poster.
Yeah, but that's got what's
Vault
it called?
Forever.
Is he called
Steam Boy?
Pit Boy or whatever he's called? I don't know what he's called. Someone's going to tell me what he's called in a minute, and I'll feel really stupid. But this ice cream van. I'm trying to think if I said anything else before I play the ending, the twist of it. Although we've sort of given away what's going to happen at the end now.
Sorry.
But no, it's not a problem. It's only a 20-minute episode. But yeah, it's Pit Boy. Pit Boy.
Pit Boy. Pit Boy, yeah boy.
So he manages to stop the ice cream man. I don't know if anyone who hasn't seen it wants to hazard a guess what's going to happen before I play it. I don't know if that's fun. But it's in the fourth game with loads of zombies. Not the fourth. The fourth game was all right. But I actually didn't think it was going to be based on the game. I thought it was going to be something totally different. But I might watch it if I've got time. There's other stuff I'm watching.
I'd love it if they did a BioShock series. I don't know if anyone has, or if there was a movie. I can't remember, but
No, but I saw a film the other
I
day.
love it.
Well, we're on the subject of horror.
detail.
There is a film called, and I think it's fairly recent. It's called No Way Up. It's about a plane crash, funnily enough, in the ocean. They get stuck on like a cliff underwater, and they're stuck at the back of the plane, but they've got to get out. But there's sharks outside the plane. And it sounds really boring, but it's actually pretty decent. And it's got the Scottish guy out of Star Wars who played Scotty in Next Generation, who was also in the Alan Partridge film. So
I thought there was a low budget Bioshock film, but I didn't know if it actually got properly released into like.
the ice cream machine was just cleaning the ice cream back. I'm gonna play what I've said. This is about a minute and a half, but I'm gonna play what happens when he catches the truck. It's a big moment for him because just come off the back of getting paid for Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and now he's got this.
Is it self-serve?
Was it everything you imagined?
Take it.
He doesn't want your money.
It?
The truck.
You're Jimmy Jeffries.
Yeah, little Jimmy Jeffrey.
Hey, where are you going? You have to drive the truck.
The truck doesn't need a driver. It has a mind of its own. All it needs is a soul.
What?
For 30 years, it had my soul. And now it has yours. That's the price for creamy cold ice cream, Marty.
Hey! 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 Let me out!
The truck is all yours. Until someone else catches you. Until then, it's all you can eat. It's all you can eat. It's all you can eat. It's all you can eat.
Let me out!
It's all you can eat.
Let me out!
That's the second thing I said that it looked like, and I made a laugh about it. But if anyone knows what wrestler you think he looks like, it'd be brilliant as well. Because
it's not. He's a character actor from Canada.
I genuinely thought he was, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, is it?" But no, it's actually.
That's another thing I find funny is that these shows like Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark, they're all mostly. Well, I think this is as well, but I know Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark definitely are. They're Canadian made.
Yes, Adventure Collect, spot on.
It's like, right, yeah.
Because that's what I thought who thought it was.
Wyndham Rotunda. What did you think of that ending then, James? When you saw it, was it anywhere near where you thought it was going?
Yeah.
Oh no, I had no idea. I mean, I think when they mentioned the whole thing with Jimmy Jeffries, I thought it was going to be like kind of in it in some way, but yeah, I didn't think it was going to get to that point where it was literally in the van at the end. But yeah, I just find it so funny as well that even at the end, he's still just trying to pay for the ice cream, like not even looking at like the weird, tall, crazy man in the corner.
Do you think it's worth the price of a soul for the ice cream?
I mean, unlimited free ice cream. You know, 50-50.
I thought it's quite sinister. Like a lot of them are like this, but this one's not too bad, even though I've seen others. But there are a lot of episodes of this show where they use that. I know there's only so many endings you can have, but there are a lot of episodes of this show where the twist at the end is, oh, someone was stuck in this job or this had to do something, and then they had to find someone to replace them, and now you're stuck here, kid. And then you've got there's another one, and I can't remember what the I think it's called Game Over. There's one about a video game, and it's very similar. Someone finds a random faceless person online on like Xbox.
Yes.
And they go to this random place and challenge me in this game, and which sounds really weird to say to a kid anyway. So this teenager goes there with his friend, ends up that when he goes into the game, he's playing the game, then the world around him turns into the game. And then he completes it all, but his friends die in it. I'm going over this quickly. And at the end, he meets this game master face to face. And then he's allowed one item to face him, and he chooses his item as his friends. So they come back to life. He beats him, and then he goes, I had to find someone better than me to replace me. And then the kid's stuck in the game, and the guy gets to walk away. And it reminded me very much of this when I saw that, because I saw that episode after this one. But
Adventure Collectors put would have been better if the freezer teleported him into it and then just filled it with blood. Ooh.
I think that's a bit too risque for this. It's weird because there's not really much blood and things in this show on different episodes, but it's very dark, some of the endings.
I think that'd be quite cool if it was like a sort of smoothie van. Do you know what I mean? Like blended. That sounds really weird, doesn't it? I sound so freaking sinister right now.
Oh, it's the Christine similar to this then. Have you seen, James? You're more clued up than me.
The Christine?
The film's called Christine, isn't it? I think Fairground DeLorean is referring.
Not a clue. Again, I've not. There's a lot of films I have not watched that I'm just completely clued out on.
See, I don't know if that was dirt because he was you pointed out to me when we watched it a second time. He's wearing the clothes he had on as a kid, even though they're like really stretched. Because you went, "That's a baseball uniform, isn't it?" And I was like,
"Yeah,
it is." And then it's like, I think it's the dessert,
it's
the
really
dirt and the
small.
ice cream. I don't think it's blood on him.
Yes, probably. I mean, if it's like an unlimited ice cream, then he's probably going to get a good amount on it. Yeah. It's not as they have like a washing machine in there or anything. So.
But the only complaint I've got about the episode in general is just he shouldn't have been addicted to it till he tried it.
Mm.
But I don't know what do you think about the episode in general, like in the ending?
I thought it was okay. It didn't actually go back to like the family, or anything like that. It was just.
Did you feel it was better than Flight? It's a hard one, isn't it? I don't think it really is my favourite.
In terms of action, yes, it is better. Because
it's a better rounded story, I think.
It's not just in one area, is it, of the scenes? And now you know where I'm going with this. But that's totally different. In terms of this, I think if you like action, you'd probably like the ice cream van. But obviously, in terms of trying to get you to think a bit more, I'd like the other one.
The Flight, which we talked about at the start, if no one's seen Flight.
So I think I'd give it a 5 out of 10, this one. But
I've not seen Christine. I've heard of it. I've seen the one by Stephen King. I'm sure it's not the same film, about the truck that's alive. And then there's one about a sentient car wheel called Robert that goes around killing people. And I've seen some of that as well. We're going in different territory, but Fairground DeLorean.
There's a whole world of horror out there.
But no, I thought they were good episodes to pick. They're a bit... I think they'd be creepy if you were a kid, but I don't think for the same reasons. Like, jump scares wise, I think this and Goosebumps aren't very good, but sometimes they have things happen that you go, that'd be really bad if that happened.
That's what I said, actually, Gareth, as well. Where's his toilet in the van?
No, I did bring that up. I thought you saw that when you said that. That's what the freezer was for.
That wasn't chocolate ice cream on his shirt.
Well, at least it wasn't blood.
Mm.
But I don't know if... Why was it so hard to stop it if he managed to stop it with the spikes? But surely, if it was supernatural anyway, I don't know. It could have stopped if it wanted to earlier than that. Why it didn't just carry on after? Because what I don't know, was it in the end of that clip? Did I cut it out? I can't remember. As soon as he's done with being trapped in there and the guy trapped the door, the wheels inflate again and he drives off. You actually see the wheels inflate.
I remember that film.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I remember the poster with it on.
I have seen it.
But I get it mixed up with is it a Stephen King one called Carrie? With that girl who murders everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Erie, Indiana. Yeah, Andy told me that the ice cream episode reminded him
they're the only ones I've not
Erie,
seen.
Indiana.
I've not seen Erie, Indiana.
I've seen some of them, not all of them.
I've never seen any of them.
But we'll have to review Erie, Indiana at some point. Yeah, we got through that a bit quicker than I thought. We can just riff for a bit. But I think I prefer... I don't know. I think... Which one do you prefer out of those two episodes, James?
I think I prefer the ice cream one because going into this kind of expecting more of the horror, I think I got more of the horror from the ice cream one, while with Flight, as we mentioned, it's kind of more makes you think, and it's a little bit kind of goes into more kind of philosophical and morbid kind of places. I feel with this one, it was a little bit more enjoyable in the horror in a way, and especially like with the kid who played Marty as well, I think that just made it a lot more enjoyable as well. And I think, as I mentioned, like kind of because it was kind of more kind of enjoyable to hate him in a way because he kind of brought it all on himself.
It was
That
very
made it a lot
opposite
more
to how
fun.
he is in. I know we've brought it up a few times, but Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He's like the absolute opposite of how he acts in that.
Yeah.
But I think I prefer Flight just because I thought the guy was cooler. The guy who ended up being dead. Spoiler alert. I thought the twist was still quite cool. I thought the ending was cool, even though it was a happy ending. I think I prefer Flight, but I really like Catching Cold because it's a better rounded story.
I just thought it kind of left me thinking the first one, and then the second one it was like it's more action based and more.
Well, the second one can leave you
there
thinking.
was more.
Don't follow.
I think there was more like jumps on that as well. But there's some kind of eeriness to it with that music. But I really want to get that music like alarm clock. Just to get the alarm clock sound.
You can probably get the sound on your phone and do it, but don't do it, please.
Yes, I will. I will do.
But yeah, I think I prefer Flight. But like I say, I think Catching Cold.
From that episode.
Which one?
The one with the ice cream van.
No,
you're saying don't get the alarm clock.
No, I just don't want to hear that sound in the morning because we sleep in the same bed. That's what I mean. I was thinking ahead. Like I'm gonna have to hear it. That's what I meant.
And then an ice cream truck appears outside.
I'll be like, yeah, I'll go take the ice cream then if I don't hear the alarm anymore. But it would have been cool because I don't think they went back to this. I was talking to James about it before we came on. There's an episode of I'm sure it's the very first episode of Haunting Hour where there's a doll that this girl gets that looks like her, and it starts turning real and turning her to a doll and taking her place. And at the end of that episode, they managed to get rid of it. But in another episode, a totally different person finds it at the side of the road, and it's like returning the character. And it would be cool if they did another ice cream truck one, but I don't think they did.
Ooh. Bolton Toy Fair Sunday to shoot a video. That sounds interesting.
Go and check out Adventure Collect shooting it. Bolton. Is Bolton in Lancashire or Greater Manchester?
It's kind of like just outside Manchester because that's where I used to go to uni. So yeah, I was constantly stuck there.
That's similar to the question we got earlier on, but it's about what short film would you turn to a scare attraction?
Depends how many short films I've watched.
Well, one I have.
When people ask me that, I tend to look at the DVDs.
One I had as well was already made. So.
What was that?
Cabin in the Woods.
The Woods isn't a short film.
And they don't do it anymore.
That's not a short film.
In terms of a short film.
Depends how much of it you watch.
Which would be a very short attraction. I don't know.
I hope so, Gareth. Then it's worked. If it entails an ice cream van and an ice cream plane, call him up. I don't know. I'm thinking of a short film. It doesn't necessarily have to be a horror.
I'm thinking short film, but every film that I know that's in terms of a scare attraction.
It's not really a film.
They're all long films.
I don't know if it's ever been done.
Want to get my money's worth.
I always said, yeah, but I felt like Cabin in the Woods didn't take itself seriously from the start, though. So it didn't matter too much. I think the problem with Cabin in the Woods was it was a bit like Pokemon in the way they had all these monsters. And you didn't get to see them all. So everyone was like, I wish there was a sequel so I could see more of these monsters that were on the list.
I think that's what I found interesting. It was always different. But then again, I like...
Oh, no, I meant the actual film.
Yeah.
The maze wasn't too bad.
Oh, what was that now about?
But I always thought they should do a maze about, like, real life. What I mean by that is, like, it starts and you hear this alarm clock, but there's, like, I don't know, kind of, it's weird to explain. But like halfway through, there'd be a bit where you go to an office, that's a job, but then your boss is like this devil, but he's wearing a suit, and it's kind of morphing real life, blowing the lines with real life and nightmare. So you're actually going into these situations that are normal, but it's kind of populated with a bit of nightmare in it, and I thought that'd be really cool.
I think, do you know the one where it had like the different stories?
Oh, Trick or Treat. They've done that in Trick or Treat, yeah, with Sam, and he was the little... with the lollipop.
There's that really big lady with like really weird hair, and it was like a red hallway, and then she'd appear one way and then appear another way. And then
you're talking about Scary South to tell kids.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be quite cool if you went through each one and it'd be based on those stories. Like, that'd be
Talking about guest services, Luke, I think they'll make a mint selling Fast Track for that. And also, I got a feeling that soon, when they realise they can't get more people in and numbers are down again, I think they're going to charging Gold Pass for parking. I don't think it's going to be as much as normal parking, maybe half the price. But I can see them charging Gold Pass for parking. And I can see me telling everyone I told them so.
When you're talking about leaning into that, they already did a scare maze many years ago. It was the Sanctuary, and we did a video on one of our pretty much earlier vlogs of hashtag Bring Back the Sanctuary.
Yep.
So if you want to take a watch of that as well, because we actually had the Dr. Kelman, didn't we?
Yeah, Jerry Channel, wasn't it? Yeah.
He's lived a life. He's been a race car driver.
He's amazing. He's amazing. We'd love to have him on again one day. But obviously we've had him himself on the show. And we still keep in touch with him. He still messages me sometimes. He messages you, so it's nice.
Me, Post-haste.
I think that was the first one I watched as well of you guys. I think that.
He watches,
yeah.
Wow. I like the way he talks.
It seems like yesterday.
He kind of says post-haste and things like that when you chat to him. It's quite fun.
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, he messages you that in text. It's like, I'll do that post-haste. Like, steady on.
Yeah. But yeah, just to make you aware of it, we were trying to do like hashtag Bring Back the Sanctuary. And yeah, it was good. The Sanctuary was good, but they needed to lean more scary. And it would have been great for them to keep going. Yeah, it would have been.
They won't bring it back now because Alton Towers believe people won't pay for stuff that they've experienced before.
Yep.
But if you made it something like Subterra where it would have different bits in it, then there wouldn't be a problem, would there? But they did that with Daz Games too, didn't they? Where everyone had a different sort of...
I can ask Bianca when we go to the...
halfway to find the codes, and it's like...
I'll go, Bianca, what's going on with the Sanctuary? You got a license to print money there? She'll go, I don't know what you're talking about. But that's a story for a different time. If anyone here... I might... I don't like to advertise it to people that watch this channel because it mucks up the algorithm. But if the odd person wants to watch it, I've got another channel where I talk about Goosebumps and Haunted Hour and stuff.
That is such a good idea, Luke. Imagine if they did it in CBeebies land. Sorry.
Did you know?
That is a crazy idea, but that's actually really good.
See, I don't know if that... I think it was true, but it might have been a lie, because I'm sure they... Did they put... At Scarefest, did they put something on that last mound of grass? I know they had the different pumpkins on there, but they're out of the way of if you're looking at CBeebies land straight on, aren't they? They're like over there a bit.
Yes, sort of. Yeah, I think
it was always the thing that for the last however many years, the reason that car has never been on the final bit is because BBC said they didn't want it in any shots in front of the. If you were looking at the CBeebies. May the 4th, the first one. But I might get kicked out for asking Bianca questions about. I was going to ask her about like Aramark and things like that, and everyone's going to go, "That's not what we're here for." And I go, "Well, people have paid here; they want to ask questions, right?" But we don't know. I'll shake John Wardley's hand and go, "John Burton, you've done a hell of a job."
Oh, that Nemesis event, yeah. I was wondering what he was on about then.
Star Wars Day, yeah. It should be cool.
May 4th.
Is there anything else we should say to people about the episodes, do you think, James, before we wrap up? Go and watch them if you haven't already, people, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Go watch them.
And go and check out James's... I've put his socials in the description. And go and buy a book if you want as well. That's in the description. I've put the UK and the US links, but I think it's on every country. But yeah, if you want us to review a couple more episodes, we might do it next month. But there's a lot of decent episodes. I just picked these ones out randomly, and if you've joined later on and you've not seen the start, we reviewed one that takes place on a plane. So Blackpool released new merch apparently.
Sorry, Angelica was just laying really, really low, so I was just checking on to see if she was all right. Just spooked me there. Speaking of jump scares.
You'll have to vlog it, Gareth. London, no. I've heard of it. I've never been.
I'm off to, what is it?
London, no. It's a Welsh thing for Welsh people. We're not allowed in.
Is it?
I'm joking.
I'm just thinking. No. It's not what I think it is.
Do you want to say anything about the episodes before we go?
No, that's it really. Obviously, I've got my photography challenge still, which I know one of you, I will end up posting the other photo that you've posted about patterns as well. So the prompt this month is patterns or pattern. So yeah, you just tag me in it, Stacey_L2E, and then I'll end up putting it on my stories, and then I put it in my highlights, so people can just look at it, and it's like a little shout out for everyone as well. Yeah, that's it really. Just a little bit of mindfulness once a month. So you're welcome to do it.
Yeah, but Gareth, that's last year's one. You've got to film this year's one, or it does, or you've not proved that you've been. And go and check out Adventure Collect. He does like merch and things, and that's not the right word for it. Like memorabilia and things like that. Like I don't know how to say it. Like action figures and merchandise and things. There is an actual word for it.
We've
James
lost
already gone.
Oh no, but his internet's gone. Bless him.
But yeah, Haunting Hour is pretty fun. Go watch it. Go check it out on YouTube. They've got their own channel. There's all the episodes on there. There's a pretty fun one about people not coming back from the dead. Maybe I don't know. That seems to be all the episodes. But I like these 2 episodes. I think the plain one was better in my opinion. But collectibles, that's it. Collectibles. Scary steamboats, but electric ones. Shall we sign off with that and just say we appreciate everyone who watched? And
thank you everyone for watching.
We'll be back
and
next week on a
listening to our
Thursday
views as well, and we should be back next week. And obviously, thank you to our guest James. I'm so sorry that you just disappeared.
I'll tell you what I'll do as a special treat if everyone wants to hear it. I've actually still got saved on here the band that did our intro song. If everyone wants me to play the music video on the way out, I can play the song. It's all right. If you want to use the link again, James, in a bit, we can chat off air if you want. But for no reason whatsoever of it being special, I might just play that song in full. Our intro song is done by a band from Boston, but the song's about 12 years old itself. But they said I could use it. That's the intro song I use every week. So
we'll
for anyone who's not heard it, like Luke and people, I'll play it. It's a cool song. Oh no! Hang on, he's back. Before we do that, he's back.
Is he coming? Yay!
Do you want to say anything to the people before we?
So close to the internet got going for the entire thing, right at the end.
It was good though. Back on, though.
Yeah, I'm back in.
I'm going to say we'll stay after when we've played.
Do you want to tell them what you've got on your channel at the moment? New stuff.
Well, yesterday I created a load of social medias very hurriedly because I couldn't be bothered to wait till 100 subscribers, so they're all there now. And also did the Towers Times event this weekend just gone as well, so that vlog's gone up, which is really fun and Nemesis stuff. Did a makeup, and when we were talking about CBeebies Land earlier, I went into CBeebies Land with a group to do Octonauts, but I was in like full like Nemesis makeup.
Yeah.
And there was one kid who was just traumatized by it.
Did you go in the fur chest? No,
we didn't. No, just
and look at you stood near a cookie at the back, and you're just like next to it, so they don't want to get it. You're like,
yeah.
Does anyone else go in Furchester and look around and pick up most of the cookies before it gets to that bit of the show?
I've never been in once.
I love it. You've not been in Furchester?
No, I went in once during Christmas, but really awkward because I was like the only like adult on their own, so I was just like awkwardly standing at the back while all the kids were at the front.
For some reason, my recollection, I thought you were with us when we did it in a group one time.
No, I don't think so.
But we always try and do it. Yeah.
Luke knows what we're on about. We gotta go.
What's that? Luke? What, has Luke not done it?
I think Luke did it once. Or I kept saying one of the characters reminded me of Luke.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
what, in the Furchester?
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a Muppet. I'm just saying.
I don't even remember you saying that.
Quickly brawl out footage.
Oh yeah, bro. Well, I can't bring that up. It's nothing to do with. I think it was a bad decision for anyone who knows what he's talking about. I think it's stabbed himself in the foot, and I think
he remembers Furchester.
And I think CM Punk came out of that much better than he needed to. But for anyone who doesn't know about that, we don't need to elaborate.
We need to make more memories again, Luke. We need to do it one day.
One day.
One of these days.
But yeah, just because I think Fairground DeLorean wanted it. So we're going to play... This is... the band's called Nemes. And I don't think... Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Don't worry, I know how to pronounce it. They've told me. It's not spelled.
No,
it's actually spelled almost like Nemesis,
That's what I thought.
but it's Nemesis, and this is a song called Pipe Song, and they're not all together anymore, but they still do music stuff, and they let me use it every week. So
we'll see you.
I don't know if you want James to do it.
Oh,
I thought the joke was that I never remember it. So
I can say the first bit. I already said the first bit.
I talked to Luke about that. I said if he set it up, I'd make a time every week to do it. But if Fairground DeLorean and Luke wants to follow it on Adventure Collects, if you want to message me, I'll tell you my other channel where I review Goosebumps and things like that. But I don't normally tell people who watch this channel because it mucks up the algorithm. Because it'll put it with a load of theme park stuff.
Just DM any of us and I can send you the link.
But about that podcast thing, DeLorean, I have talked to Luke about that. I said if he can set it up, I'll show up for it. But
oh my gosh, that'd be so cool.
we'll see you in the review.
Because for now,
we're gone.
Will you look back when you're old and gray and think those dumb kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you'd remember? I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away. Some kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you'd remember. I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away. I hope you'll hear it and you'll sing along, but it doesn't seem to have the same effect now. You just look back with an empty stare. I try to love you, but there's nothing there. Keep your memory flowing through my veins after you've gone away. Smallest violin, let it be loud enough to get over you and all your friends. And I will sing these words to make it true, through and through, so you know how much I hate you. I will play the smallest violin, let it be loud enough to get over you and all your friends. I will sing these words through and through, so you still know how much I hate you. Look back when you're old and gray at the ghost. Some kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you remember. I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away.
Little Greg McFlorberger found love in the village of the Hobbits.